All right, Schlockmeister fans, we're going to watch another video nasty. Jess Franco's Cannibals, otherwise known as White Cannibal Queen. Let's check it out. All right, our movie starts with a family. Father Jeremy, mother, I don't know. There's Jeremy, played by Al Cliver. And their young daughter, Lena, spelled L-A-N-A, but pronounced
You go straight
Lena.
off to sleep like a good little girl.
Next day, we
Anyway, they're in the Amazon or something.
had been attacked and eaten by a tribe of cannibals.
Dangerous place to take your daughter, I would say.
Cannibals. Perhaps they were wild beasts.
Dangerous or not, we want to be with you. It doesn't matter where or what the conditions are like. After all, we've always been together. I don't really understand why.
Feeling cold?
No.
Well, wouldn't you know it, some cannibals sneak onto their boat. You can tell they're cannibals because of their colorful face paint. They go after the wife next, and the little girl, Lena, she's going to hide so they don't find her. Then they start eating the wife. All the eating scenes in this movie are extreme close-ups, so you can't really tell what the hell's happening. Now, they never did find the little girl, but they did capture Jeremy and take him to their village, I guess. As for Lena, they did find her, though.
What goddess?
They speak English there. They have plans for Jeremy, too. There goes his arm. Now, I don't think this is Jeremy's arm, because that arm doesn't look fresh. But they're eating somebody's flesh. And then, dude brings the white goddess, Lena. As they hold Lena up, unconscious, still alive, gives Jeremy a chance to escape with his one arm. Fast forward maybe 10 years, Jeremy's hanging out with Lena Romay, Anna,
It's the same horrible nightmare that
and he
obsesses
seems to have no memory of what happened.
Try to remember, Jerry.
And then he sees a little girl in a store and suddenly has an epiphany that he had a daughter.
Lena!
Jerry?
By the Shilton Foundation to my lobby,
It all comes back to him now.
where my daughter disappeared. Elizabeth. Maybe she's still alive.
He tries to raise money for a new expedition to go find her.
You to finance it.
Go back to your clinic.
I'm telling you the truth.
You're mad.
You will be.
Meanwhile, back in the jungle, Lena is very much alive and all grown up.
From you, white
She is
goddess.
now considered the White Cannibal Queen, the goddess.
Son,
Years ago.
He continues to search for a guide.
You'd better forget about it. Anyway.
May I present Dr. Jeremy?
But eventually does get financed.
Chief of our expedition.
These people think it's going to be some sort of party in the jungle.
The other members. A gang of bravos eager for adventure. Haha.
Even though he's on a pilgrimage to find his daughter, there's still time for a little hanky-panky with Anna. Now's the time on Cannibals when we dance!
I promise that the invaders will be exterminated!
Somehow he speaks perfect English also, and I don't know how he knows they're even gonna come there, but they do come.
A little back.
The realization that this isn't a picnic soon dawns on them when they stumble upon a severed hand. And some other scattered body parts from one of their members who wandered off. Chopped them up and left most of them without eating. And it's not long before the main group is discovered. And then the natives just start picking them off one by one. This time we got an arrow. And another. And another. Dropping like flies now. Killed enough of them now, it's time to eat. Again, extreme close-up. It's probably the same shot in every eating scene. They do get a couple of the natives, but then they get captured, the 3 last survivors here. Some more close-up eating.
Money's set.
And then he sees her.
Lena,
She unties them.
you're my daughter.
She seems to have some sort of recognition.
Then I'm going to take you away.
She lets them go.
Go away now.
Anyway, they come back in the night and kidnap her and take her away.
You're simply my daughter, Lena.
She's not exactly keen to go with them, but eventually she does. Her husband's pissed. It culminates with a fight in the water, and the husband kills the guy with 2 arms. Then it's decided that they must fight for Lena. If the husband wins, he gets to keep her. If Daddy wins, he gets to take her home. One-armed Daddy wins as he's about to drown the husband. Eventually he agrees, okay, I'll spare you.
Farewell.
Defeated, he agrees to let her go.
Goddess. Farewell.
And she goes home with Daddy, and that's our movie.
Oh.
All right, let's talk about this movie, Cannibals, directed by Jess Franco. It's one of the video nasties, and I've never seen this one before. It's also called White Cannibal Queen, and I think it's also called Mondo Cannibal. But anyway, I think it was filmed in Portugal. It's a Spanish-made film. Basically, the movie is a man, his wife, and his little girl, who's maybe 8 or 9. They're out in the water somewhere on a boat. They're in someplace tropical, and they get attacked by cannibals. The wife is killed and eaten. The father is kidnapped, as is the daughter. Actually, the daughter's not kidnapped yet. The daughter ends up floating away in the water somewhere because the cannibals didn't find her on the boat, but they find her in the water later, and she's still alive. And one of the guys thinks it's like this white goddess, so they kidnap her. Take her back to the camp where the father is, and then when all the cannibals see the girl, they're distracted, and then the father gets away. He's missing an arm, by the way. They chopped his arm off. He ends up going back to the United States, forgetting that he had a daughter there, and he's in some sort of not a transfer, but his memory is lost for several years. And when he comes out of it, he realizes he has a daughter left in the Amazon basin or wherever the hell they were, and says, I got to go get her back. So he's been hanging out with Lena Romay for a while, and then he decide to go down to the Amazon or wherever this was. He gets a group together that pays for the trip. They're coming along just kind of like as an adventure type thing. And he's like, this is no picnic, I'm going to Cannibal Land here. So nonetheless, they all go down there, and they get picked off one by one by the cannibals. Eventually, they do find the daughter, it's spelled L-A-N-A, but he pronounces it Lena. And she doesn't remember him. She's like married to like the chief now of the tribe of the cannibals there. We're down to 2 survivors, 2 guys and Lena, and they're kidnapped at one point. They're tied up, and then Lena comes out and actually releases them and says, go now. Lena speaks perfect English, and by the way, all the tribes, the cannibal people do too. They don't speak much, but when they do, they speak perfect English. Anyway, she lets them go, but they come back and they kidnap her in the night and against her wishes. And then the cannibals end up following them, and basically comes down to a final battle. It said that, if one man wants another man's woman, you got to fight for it. Even though he doesn't really want her as a woman, he wants her as a daughter. Nonetheless, the other guy decides, I'll fight for you since you got one arm. He immediately gets killed by the cannibal, the husband here. And then the husband fights the father, Al Cliver, who plays Jeremy. They fight, and Jeremy ends up winning it. He's about to drown the husband, and then his daughter says, "No, don't kill him, let him go." And then he lets him go, and then he basically says, "Okay, you win, farewell." And then father and daughter wander off and live happily ever after. That's Cannibals. Now, the reviews on IMDb are horrible for this movie. Surprisingly, there's actually a small amount of nudity in it. There is nudity in here, but not a ton. But the eating scenes, the violence is really subdued. We see some people get killed by arrows, and then we see the guy's arm chopped off. But the eating scenes are shot in such close-ups you can't even tell what's going on. It wasn't done very well. The actors who are playing the cannibals are clearly European with some goofy face paint on. The movie's a mess, but you know what? It was actually fairly entertaining. It's only 90 minutes long, and it flowed pretty well. It is what it is. It's a cannibal movie, and you get what you ask for. Although, again, the cannibal scenes were pretty darn tame. Not much there. Again, this was, however, rated or listed as one of the video nasties in the UK in the 80s. Now, also, this particular DVD, which was put out by Blue Underground, has an interview with the director, Jean Jesus Franco, on there. And his comments about the lead actress who plays Lena, her name is Sabrina Sayana or something like that. He's like, she was a pretty girl with a lovely body and completely stupid. Apparently, she was one of the 3 stupidest people he ever worked with. She couldn't act. She couldn't follow directions. She was just stupid. And she said the mother was around because she was rather young. She was probably like 20, I think, when she made this movie. The mother was always around on set, making sure nobody, messed with her daughter. But he's like, nobody would want her daughter because she was too stupid. So anyway, I love those comments by Mr. Franco himself on there. But anyway, that's Cannibals. It's not available on Blu-ray that I know of, but it is available on this DVD from Blue Underground, and it's not very expensive. I think I paid like $10-12 for it. So anyway, it's pretty good price for it's a pretty good film for $10-12. Check it out. Leave some comments. It's not a great film, but it's fun to watch. It's Cannibals. Click the link down below if you want to buy it, and leave some comments. Watch it. Bye. Cannibals.